Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patini, the Prime Minister of the Proposition team. I would like to advocate today's topic that animals should not be used for experiments. While animals research benefits human, the misery, suffering, and death of animals are not worth the potential human benefits. Moreover, animals and humans are similar. They all sense, think, behave, and suffer pain. The American Veterinary Medical Association animal pain as an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience perceived as arising from a specific region of the body and associated with actual or potential damage. Animals feel pain in some of the same ways as humans do, and their responses to pain are almost similar. For example, both humans and animals scream. Others believe that animal experiments is acceptable because animals are a lower species than humans and therefore have no rights. These humans believe that animals don't deserve dignity and they don't have the mental ability to comprehend or knowing their rights. Nevertheless, because of human selfishness, animals have emotions, goals, needs, and desires that are close to human roles and abilities. And these similarities should be valued rather than used. I would like to provide two major points as the Prime Minister of the proposition team. And the first point is for humans or scientists to make a culture for the experiments in the laboratory, nearly any kind of human and animal cell can be grown. Scientists have also managed to uh, coax cells to expand into three-dimensional models, such as human organs, which can be used to explore new treatments um, in a more realistic manner. The second point is computer models. The opportunity to model or recreate elements of the human body is becoming more realistic as machine. There are some new software representations of heart, lungs, kidneys, skin, digestive, and more structures. They can be used to execute simulated tests based on pre-existing data and mathematical formulas. That is all I want to say for this role of mine in this motion. Humans should be more aware of using animals as experiments. Animals have lives, animals have rights. There are more techniques of doing experiment out there that should just focus. They can't just use and focus on animals and should value them more too as how we value each others as humans. Thank you.
Now we will take 2 minute break and continue to the leader of our opposition.
Um, okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the side of the House where we, as the opposition team, is completely and entirely disagree with this motion that animals should not be used in experiments. But before we go straight into my argument, I would like to first define some keywords to help you better understand this motion. The word that I would like to define is experiment. The word experiment is the conduct of uh, scientific research on animals to help benefit human being or to help benefit science in any way, like in medical terms or in technological terms. But before I go straight into my point, I would like to rebut some of the first speaker of the government team. She has said that some animals have consciousness. I think she contradicted herself a little bit in the beginning. She said that animal doesn't have the consciousness like we do. Since they are animal, they are unable to think, they are unable to act, and they are unable to comprehend what is happening. So that means they have no right. But then at the end, she said that animals should have rights instead. But isn't it a little bit contradictory since she said that they have not the same mindset as we do. Um, and the second point I would like to make is that because animal has no consciousness, isn't it better to use animal in experiment rather than a human being who has consciousness and who has the ability to think, to act. Isn't it better to sacrifice one for the safety of many? So this brings me to my first point, which is the animal contributes to in medical research, in cure and treatments. Some diseases are made. Some diseases are come from animal. Some come from animal. Some come human, which pass down to animal, and some genetically modified and become a new disease. But with medical help, with technological advancement, and with countless experiment on animals, we are able to fight back. We are able to find a cure. We are able to find a solution to help prevent any casualties in terms of human lives. Some of the major advancement in treatment are breast cancer, lung-related diseases, and brain injuries. These are some that I would like to list a few. And my second point that I would like to make is animal testing is essential in order to ensure the safetiness of a vaccine. We have been through many outbreaks of viruses, and we have prevailed through them all. Why is that? It's because of vaccine. Think of the flu virus, think of rabies, think of the COVID. These are all the viruses which we have encountered, but we have managed to prevail through all of them, and thanks to vaccine. They were all tested. All of them have something in common. They were tested in a lab, and it was tested on animal in the initial stage of the development. But why do we use animal to test? Why do we use countless life of animal to test? And why don't we just put human life at risk just to test those vaccine? The answer is very simple. The vaccine is for human being, and it's not for animal. We prioritize our life rather than animal, which is why animals should be used to help with medical research. I would like to summarize what I have said. I have rebutted some of the points which the first government has said, and I have made two of my points, which is animal is contribute to cure and treatment, and animal is good to is essential to ensure the safety of vaccines. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Leader Opposition, for your information. And we will continue to Deputy Prime Minister, but we will take another 2-minute break.
So, hello everyone. Today I'm Siu Phong Ren as the Deputy Prime Minister for this debate and would like to reveal my case to support that animals should not be used to experiment. But before I come to my own arguments, let us first have a look at what the leader of the opposition has said. He said that we use animals because it's essential to experiment, but I think it's not. I disagree with that because it's just because you think animals have no right, animals have no consciousness as human, you start to use them. So don't you think it is impact to the animal life? Do you know how many animals die each year? According to the PETA organization, more than 100 million animals each year die each year, including mice, rats, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, pigs, monkeys, and more are killed in the U.S. And this thing you said that you mentioned about human experiment, but we for Prime Minister, she didn't mean that. For cell culture, we use only cell human, but it's not affect to the human at all. So now let me come to my own point, which is animals should not be used to experiment because animals' rights are violated when they are used in research. According to Tom Regan, a philosophy professor at North Carolina University, state that animals have a basic moral right to respectful treatment. Animals and people are alike in many ways. Animals feel pain, animals suffer, animals behave, animals have feelings as humans do. Thus, animals should be treated with the same respect as humans. Regan further says that animal experimentation is morally wrong, no matter how much humans may benefit because the animals' basic right has been infringed. Again, animals have their own right. Animals not willing to sacrifice themselves for human welfare and serve human beneficiary. Their decisions are made for them because they cannot vocalize their own preferences and choices. Their decisions are made for them because they can. When humans decide the fate of animals in research environment, the animals' rights are taken away without any sort of their well-being or the quality of their life. One more thing, animal testing is unreliable because according to Cruelty Free International Organization, they show that 90% of drugs fail in human trials despite promising results in animal tests, whether on safety grounds or because they do not work. Cancer drugs have the lowest success rate. Only 5% are approved after entering clinical trials. Heart drugs, the success rate is only 7%, and neurology drugs is only 8%. And using dogs, rats, mice, and rabbits to test whether or not a drug will be safe for humans provide little statistically useful insight. This evidence proves that animal experimentation should stop from now on because it is unnecessary and it below the belt. Furthermore, the Prime Minister also mentioned that we can use the technologies like computer models or cell culture that are more effective, reliable, and useful enough for experiment and researching to cure people diseases and beneficial in many other ways to humans. Cell culture have been central to key developments in areas such as cancer, kidney disease, and AIDS. So vaccine. To conclude my conclusion, I would like to say that animals experiment is unreliable. Animals experiment violated animals' rights, and animal experiment should not be used anymore. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Now we will take another 2-minute break and we will continue with Deputy Leader of Opposition.
Hello everyone, my name is Sujitrampang and I am the Deputy Leader of Opposition. Before going straight to the argumentation, I would like to rebut to some points of the government side. They stated that the modeling of humans can be replaced for animals, but is the modeling of human accurate enough to use to create vaccines or medicines instead of using animals? And if the modeling is accurate and the vaccine is made, so do you think that the vaccine will work on humans and have no side effects? This is a question I would like to ask. And for another point, they stated that animals cannot talk. Animals have no rights. But yeah, I would like to say that humans fight for their right. So humans and animals are not the same. And come down to the priority, we value human lives more than animals. So asking you one question: would you like to sacrifice yourself to make the experiment for the vaccine or medicine, or you would like to sacrifice one of animal life? You should know the answer for yourself. And now let's come down to my argument points. For my first point, I would like to say that animal must be used in cases when ethical considerations prevent the use of human subjects. When testing medicines for potential toxicity, the lives of human volunteers should not be put in danger. It would be unethical to perform invasive experimental procedures on human beings before the methods have been tested on animals. And some experience involve genetic manipulation that would be unacceptable to impose on human subjects before animal testing. And another point is animals are appropriate research subjects because they are similar to human beings in many ways. For example, chimpanzees share 99% of their DNA with humans, and mice are 98% genetically similar to humans. All mammals, including humans, are descended from common ancestor, and all have the same sets of organs, such as heart, kidneys, and lungs. Those function works the same way. Because animals and humans are so biologically similar, they are susceptible to many of the same conditions and illnesses, including heart diseases, cancer, and diabetes. According to the speakingofresearch.com, of the 108 Nobel Prizes awarded for physiology and medicine, 96 were directly dependent on animal research. Animal research underpinned the very first Nobel Prize to be awarded for physiology or medicine. And to summarize what I have said, I have made two argument points: that animal must be used instead of human beings, and animals must be used in cases when ethical consideration prevents the use of human subjects. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Leader for Opposition, for your speech. And we will continue to government with, but we will take 2-minute break.
I think Zoom is running out of time. It's remain only 6 minutes more.
Okay, I will start another meeting, and yeah, let's end this one.
Okay.